I'm going to read some extracts from my second play, but my first produced play, The Suitcase. It's, the action takes place in a family home in Belfast where a mother and her daughter, Sophie and Galina, are clearing it out after the death of their grandfather, Leo Edelman. Leo survived the Holocaust and came to settle in Belfast. But in all those years, he was never able to talk about his experiences. While the women are clearing out the house, they come across an old suitcase on which is written an unfamiliar name and address, Galina Stein from Vienna. They look at the case and they think, where on earth did this come from? How long has it been here? Who is Galina Stein? And the granddaughter thinks, and why am I called Galina? It's an unusual name. And the suitcase will reveal all the things that Leo was never able to talk about in his life. It will reveal his relationship to Galina, who was a young girl growing up in Vienna whose dream was to become a dancer. Just as she's setting out on the early stages of her professional career, life around her in her city slowly but irrevocably starts to unravel. So this is Galina reading from her diary, which spans around 4 years. I've always wanted to say, I am a dancer. I've taken classes since I was 9. I'm 17 now. I've written to the director of the Academy of Dance and told him of my ambition. I asked him if they offer scholarships. I could pay my way for working for free in the costume department. I would work all night if necessary. Perhaps he would allow me to go in and dance for him, so that he could decide if I would make a promising student. When I was 8, Mama took me to the State Opera for my birthday treat. Swan Lake, my favourite ballet. I remember sitting in that beautiful auditorium wearing my best dress, the red velvet one with the white collar. I was so excited, it felt as if someone was pouring freezing water down my back. I still get that same thrill whenever I hear that music. Next day when I went into school, I couldn't think of anything else. In the afternoon we had our creative lesson, and it was my turn to lead the class. There was only one thing for me to do. I created my own version of Swan Lake. I built scenery out of boxes, I hummed the music, I danced Odette and Odile, all the little swans, Prince Siegfried, even Rothbart the magician. I directed my friends in the other roles. They had no idea what was going on. They thought I was completely crazy. The Academy did invite me for an audition. It was terrifying. Everyone else was so well dressed and confident. I had no idea what was expected. I had chosen something from Dvorak's Slavonic dances. Everyone else had prepared ballet pieces. I stood there trembling, but once the music started, I felt strong. At the end, all I could see was smiling faces, even amongst the other dancers. It was wonderful. I curtsied, put my things in my bag, and left. They said they would let me know their decision in due course. So here it is, I think. This is their decision. June 1938. My first exhibition at the Academy. Mama and Papa came to watch. I was one of the little swans in Swan Lake. I was in the middle between Maria and Elena. We were afraid we would get our legs tangled up and start giggling and fall over. Imagine Herr Director's face if we had. Oh, it was so much fun. I wish Hugo had been there, but he is doing well in London and seems happy. I think he has a girlfriend. He mentioned someone called Inga in his last letter. I wrote back and tried to find out more about her, but he's very secretive. He tells me nothing. Papa says he should stay in England until things get better. But will they get better? On our way home, our day changed. We walked around the corner of the Springergasse into a crowd of people. We saw Stefan Adler, who'd been in my class at school, kneeling on the pavement and painting the word Jew on the front of his father's butcher's shop. He was in tears. There were some soldiers standing over him, and some of our neighbours were watching and laughing. I never liked Stefan that much. He was a bit of a bully, but I hated seeing him humiliated like that. I started to call out to him, but Papa told me to be quiet and keep walking. When we got inside our apartment, Mama burst out crying. Papa insists he's going to come and meet me from the academy every day now. Thinks it's not safe for me to come home alone. Suddenly it feels as though there is a shiver creeping in under our happy lives. September 1938. Nobody could forget what is happening these days in our beautiful city. When Papa and I were on the train from the academy, we saw a family coming out of one of the palaces on the Ringstrasse. They were being pushed out of the great front door. Papa said it was the home of one of the rich bankers. The women were crying and the children looked so scared. A tall man with a beard, I think he was their father, was being kicked and shouted at by two soldiers. They were all carrying suitcases. They went up the street looking back at their house, wailing and weeping. I do not know where they were being taken. Papa says that from now on, we must live quietly and obey instructions. Everyone is so fearful about what might happen. There are rumours that Jewish children are being expelled from school. What will I do if I have to leave the academy? The 9th of November, 1938. Kristallnacht. What to say? How to say it? Is this a nightmare? Please let me wake up and it all be gone. Our city, our beautiful buildings, our prayer houses, all on fire. Oh, Papa. We could see flames leaping into the sky on our way home from the academy. People were being stopped by soldiers and beaten. A woman tried to run away. They shot her in the back, just like that. Papa and I slipped down a dark side street, but he stumbled on the cobblestones and fell. He got up, but his ankle was hurting so much that he could hardly walk. He told me to go on without him. He would see me at home. I ran into a street behind the cathedral. Dagmar Schmidt, who worked with me at the atelier, lives here, number 63. I ring the bell. No reply. I ring again and I knock loudly. The door opens a chink. It's Dagmar's mother. Hello, Frau Schmidt. It's Galina Stein, Dagmar's friend from the atelier. She looks at me and says nothing. May I come in and wait a while, please? There are soldiers everywhere and many buildings are burning. My father fell and hurt his foot. I'm trying to make my way home. Over her shoulder, I see Dagmar in the hallway. I wave to her. Hello, Dagmar. She does not wave back. One moment, says her mother. She closes the door. I'm frightened out here alone in the darkness. I can hear shouting and shots in the distance. The door opens again, and Frau Schmidt puts out her hand. Here, take this for your tram fare home. Don't come here again. The door closes in my face. Does she not realize? There are no trams. There is no transport. Why did she not let me in? Why did Dagmar not speak to me? Surely it's not because I don't know how, but I managed to get home safely. Mama was so relieved to see me. Then I told her about Papa. I must go down now and sit with her until he comes home. I hope he will not be too long.